Here we go. Hello there, friends. Well, today I'm at Terrain Consulting, and the topic for our discussion is about adding value. When we're looking at buying properties in regional Australia, one of the things we get often asked about by our clients is, hey, is there any potential capital improvement that we can actually make to the property? And believe it or not, there are things you can do, and that might involve a subdivision or selling off a parcel of the land. So I'm here with Laurie and Andrew, a couple of the directors from Terrain. So do you want to just walk us through the sort of process of where you could add value to our clients if we're looking at a property and it's got potential and the land's large enough to be able to do something with? How would Terrain be able to help our client?
Sure. Look, often we receive phone calls from people looking at purchasing property and think there's a big backyard but don't quite know what to do with it.
Yep.
So one of the first things we do is look at the zoning, the regulations and the overlay controls, look at some aerial photography.
Yep.
A lot of it's desktop type of analysis.
Yep.
And often there is some untapped potential in there.
Okay, so that could potentially, using that word potential again, but that could lead to an opportunity where we could assess the viability of building another dwelling on the back, or potentially a couple of dwellings on the back. That's the sort of thing that Terrain can add value to our clients when they're making decisions around, is that going to be the right sort of property that we want to look at
Absolutely,
acquiring?
yeah.
Yep.
So we'll have a look at the regulations
Yep.
From council. We'll have a look at the subdivision potential, whether the land's large enough
Yep.
to subdivide off. It might even be that the property could accommodate townhouses.
Yep.
And there might be minimum lot sizes depending on the zoning of the land, which you've got to have a look at, that sort of thing.
Yep. And so you'll liaise with the local council, you'd get a copy of title and then determine whether or not that land could
Once we get a copy of title, then that's the basis of making the investigations, and initially we can look to see if there's any restrictions on title, whether they're covenants or easements that might hinder possible development and that sort of thing as well.
Yep.
And then you assess the planning scheme provisions for the viability of further development and subdivision going forward.
Yep. And we were talking earlier off camera about whether there's heritage overlays.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, look, a lot of people get scared off by heritage overlays.
yep.
But heritage...
Should they?
They shouldn't, because it's not a preservation control.
Right.
It's not a conservation control, it's a heritage control which allows development. It's just got to be a reasonable outcome. So you might keep the first couple of rooms of a dwelling and extend to the rear.
Yep.
It all comes back to the end product, how it sits on the property. But I mean, also it could be that you might find a property that perhaps a corner property, it might be a perfect candidate for a medical centre.
Yeah.
Or veterinary clinic.
Yep.
So in that sense, we can look into the scheme provisions and give advice of what to look for and the consultants involved, and we'll probably have discussions with council initially.
Yep.
Just on a phone call. And
that might be an option down the track, not necessarily straight away, but just
absolutely.
potential for what you can do with the property.
Yeah, absolutely. And that way then, and we were talking again off camera about the possibility that maybe someone's got an inheritance, or they perhaps haven't got the funds right now, they might sell another property. But these are options that when we're considering purchasing a property, that, okay, there are things that we could do to add value to that property over time. Fantastic.
It's some due diligence pre-purchase.
Exactly, that's great. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Hope you got some value out of that. Have yourselves a great day, and bye for now.
All right.
Thanks, Phil.